WarGames. That's the line.
No, you gotta say it like this.
No, no.
WarGames!
First of all, I'm not William Regal. Secondly, I can't even remember the last time he actually said that here. And thirdly, it always seems to be personal, you know? Like, and especially this year here. I mean, look at both War Games matches for the men and the women. They are as personal could ever be, I tell ya. Ain't nothing else like it. Ain't nothing else like it, I tell ya. Now, anyways, yeah, I'm Coffee Lover 239. We've got our resident John Moxley Stan Steven.
Oi, oi, oi!
Good grief, yeah, and yeah, just us two again, unless someone else comes in later. Don't worry, we've got Jesse's predictions, so I will try to read them in proper order here. Unlike the end where I had to run him down, so let's go. This time it's the men's War Games match we're starting with, or the big one, is the OG bloodline. Roman Reigns, the Usos, Jay and Jimmy, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk versus the fake bloodline, or should I say Solo's bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Batu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bronson Reed. Yes, Bronson Reed is Samoan, but he's not a part of the fucking Anoa'i family. You figure it out. I don't know. From 2021 until 2023, Roman Reigns and his cousins, the Usos, Jay and Jimmy, led the Bloodline stable, managed by Paul Heyman, holding both the undisputed WWE Universal Championship and the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, respectively, until their losses at WrestleMania 39 and 40, respectively. Also during this time, Sami Zayn joined as an honorary member until January 2023, with the Usos' younger brother, Solo Sikoa, also joining. After an internal strife, the Usos left the group and emerged victorious during the Bloodline Civil War Tag Team match at Money in the Bank 2023. However, the Usos split up, with Jay moving to Raw and Jimmy remaining on SmackDown and rejoined the Bloodline, but despite being on different brands. This led to a match at WrestleMania 40 where Jay defeated Jimmy. Yeet! Reigns also lost the undisputed WWE Universal Championship to Cody Rhodes at the event in what was one of the most overbooked matches of all time, but damn if it wasn't something else. In the months after Reigns' defeat, Sikoa assumed leadership of the bloodline while exiling Jimmy, Paul Heyman, and Roman Reigns, and adding Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. Reigns returned at SummerSlam, beginning a rivalry with Sikoa, while Jimmy returned at Bad Blood, which led to a reunion of Reigns and the Usos. At Crown Jewel, Reigns and the Usos lost to Sikoa, Fatu, and Tonga after interference from Loa, with Sikoa pinning Reigns. Following the match, Sikoa's bloodline outnumbered Reigns and the Usos until Raw's Sami Zayn came out to save them. However, Zayn accidentally performed a haluva kick on Reigns intended for Sikoa. On the following Raw, Zayn was confronted by the Usos, with Jimmy claiming Zayn attacked Reigns on purpose. Jay then urged Zayn to appear on that week's SmackDown to make amends with Reigns. On SmackDown, Zayn told Reigns that the kick was an accident and stated it felt good to team with Reigns and the Usos again. However, he would only reunite with them against Sikoa's bloodline if Reigns apologized to Jay for his past mistreatment of him, but Reigns refused. Later that night, Reigns confronted Sikoa and his bloodline, with Sikoa challenging Reigns and a team of his choosing to a War Games match at Survivor Series War Games. Sikoa then introduced Zayn as the fifth member of his team, but Zayn attacked Sikoa, with Reigns acknowledging Zayn, officially reuniting the original iteration of the bloodline. Reigns, the Usos, and Sammy Uso, man. Oh boy. It was then announced the original Bloodline would face the new Bloodline in a War Games match at the event, with a fifth member of each team to be determined. On the November 15th episode of SmackDown, Sikoa's Bloodline recruited Bronson Reed from Raw. Yes, he may be Samoan, but like I said, he's not a part of the Anoa'i family. I know, you figure it out. Hey, I don't know if it, you know the saying, yeah. And the following week, Heyman finally returned after getting, well, just put through a table in Madison Square Garden, and revealed his old client from Raw, CM Punk, as the original Bloodline's fifth member. And this is actually a big fucking deal because, well, two sets of Paul Heyman people reunited here at last, and yeah, this could also potentially set up something between Punk and Reigns down the line because you know they want to do that match. You know that's money on the table right there. And I mean that, and it just,
It
yeah,
just, yeah.
it all unites properly. And on the November 29th episode of SmackDown, Jay will face Fatu to determine which team will have the War Games advantage. I think the OG, not the OG bloodline, Solo's bloodline is going to get that advantage because usually the heels always do in these matches. So yeah, it's really, really personal this round here. And what can I say? Oh man, oh man, oh man, they've done so much good with this one here. I swear, whatever happens afterwards, the best probably has yet to come with this storyline, but this is going to be a memorable stop here at the end. Because that son of a bitch is lurking in the distance and watching on like a fucking hawk. We know he is. Still, this is going to be one violent match, I tell ya. Ooh.
Gonna be bloody,
Okay,
just
hey.
like Vince
Hey,
McMahon.
hey, easy. And secondly, I don't know if it's going to be that
Yeah.
bloody. Hey, stop that.
Uh, uh,
For good. But yeah, you know what? This is going to be a great match. We know it. It's probably going to main event because that just makes sense. Yes, Diener, who you got?
OG bloodline.
Ooh, OG
Because
blood.
that's the bottom line.
Okay,
Cause
okay.
Stone Cold said so, you
Bruh.
bitch. Because if that's not how it is, then if it's not the way, then it won't be the way.
Okay, calm down. Alright. Jesse also says the OG bloodline, but Dwayne is gonna come out after the fucking match, so
Why do you say it like that, Dwayne?
because he may as well just be just Dwayne, old Rocky. Yeah, I could go back to the old name, but nah, leave it dead and buried. Yeah, I think eventually, if we want to get to the throughing of everything here, to the further along things, and the descent potentially of the current bloodline, it's best that the OG bloodline retain. I mean, plus, you're still gonna have to make Roman strong in some instances. I mean, he got pinned in the six-man tag at Crown Jewel, so shit, he's gotta have his revenge somehow. So yeah, despite the fact that they have a big boy on their team, the Solos bloodline, I'm going to go with the OG bloodline on this one. Next. And now we have Guntherish Walter versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. At SummerSlam, well, Walterish whatever the hell defeated Damian Priest to win the World Heavyweight Championship. And 3 months later, on the November 4th episode of Raw, Priest won a fatal four-way match to earn a rematch for the title, which was confirmed at Survivor Series WarGames. So, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. It's probably going to be a fine enough match as it is, but anyone who remembers, well, Guntherish Walter's NXT shit, I mean, this isn't really a surprise that they're giving him these long reigns. I mean, for goodness sake. Are you really that surprised? No, I don't think so. But I mean, it is what it is. This is kind of just a stopgap, really, with everything else. So, eh, I don't know, really. It's going to be a fine match, but there's not much setup to it. So, enjoy a little clinic, I guess. Who you got, Diener?
Um, Breaker?
Wrong match.
Match for you on? Sorry.
We're on the World Heavyweight Championship match. Yeah.
Gunther, Gunther,
Aye,
Gunther,
okay. His name is
Gunther,
Walter, god
Gunther.
damn it. Yeah, why do you do this to me? Okay, Jesse actually
Cause I love
said,
you.
no, Dean. No, if you did, you would stop doing that when I... Yeah, so Jesse actually said Damian Priest by DQ because, oh god, I don't even want to say it out loud, but fucking Oldberg is gonna spear Guntherish Walter, and well, yeah, no. I'm going with Walter to retain. Hey, I know you can't keep avoiding this current name forever. Shit, if War Raiders can get their name back, anything's possible. So let me have a little bit of hope, damn it. And here we go. It's the women's War Game match. Team Rhea Ripley, which is Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley versus the Judgment Day. At least Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. At Bad Blood, Liv Morgan defended Raw's Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley, which Ripley won by disqualification after being attacked by the returning Raquel Rodriguez. And Morgan retained since championships do not change hand or by disqualification or count out unless stipulation. And that ending was done awfully, might I add. Very, very awfully. Like, ugh. I don't know what they were thinking with that. It just looked sloppy. And then Rodriguez instantly became a member of the Judgment Day alongside Morgan. On the October 29th episode of NXT, Rhea Ripley was brutally attacked by Morgan and Rodriguez in the Performance Center parking lot, where a lot of attacks seem to happen, suffering an orbital bone injury, taking her out of action indefinitely. Then at Crown Jewel on November 2nd, Morgan defeated SmackDown Women's Champion, the WWE's Women's Champion, Nia Jax from SmackDown, to win the inaugural Crown Jewel Championship for the women after interference from Rodriguez and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. On the following episode of Raw, Stupid Sexy Liv Morgan, Rodriguez, and Mysterio celebrated her victory before being interrupted by the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and Lady Brawl, yeah. Later that night, a battle royale took place to determine Morgan's next challenger. Morgan and Rodriguez eliminated Belair and Cargill despite not being involved in the match, so shouldn't whatever. And ultimately that was won by Io Sky. Belair and Cargill then defeated Morgan and Rodriguez on the next episode to retain their titles. On that Friday's SmackDown, Morgan and Rodriguez attacked Belair and Cargill backstage during Jax's title defense against Naomi, which she ultimately won after interference from her allies Tiffany Stratton and Candice LeRae. Oh, good grief. Yeah, you broke up Candice and Indy because Indy had to go bye-bye for some ungodly reason, so screw it. Screw it, let's just stick her with Nia Jax. On the following episode of Raw, the team of Belair, Cargill, Naomi, and Sky confronted the team of Morgan, Rodriguez, Jax, Stratton, and LeRae before Ripley made a surprise return as the fifth member of Belair's team. Ripley declared War Games, and the two teams brawled with a War Games match subsequently being scheduled for the pay-per-view. During the November 22nd episode of SmackDown, Cargill was attacked backstage by an unknown assailant, taking her out of action indefinitely. 3 days later on Raw, Belair defeated Jax after interference from Bayley to earn the War Games advantage. So, yeah, the babyfaces here will get it. So, yeah. And Bayley was then added as the fifth member to Belair's team, or I thought Rhea's team, whatever, as Cargill's replacement. So there's not as much personnel shit here with the whatchamacallit, the ladies, I should say, compared to everything else that's happened. So I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it's still going to be a fun match, but I think I'm more excited for the other War Games match just because there's more story to it. Not to say there isn't with this one, there still is, and everything seems to also be colliding nicely, but maybe not as much as the other one. Still, we know what these ladies are capable of, so we should be in good hands. So, Diener?
Team Mia.
Yeah, Jesse also went with Team Rhea. Tiffy will try to cash in and actually succeed. And I'm going to go with Team Rhea because, yeah, I just see that being the case here. So, next. Now it's Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser for the Intercontinental Championship. Triple threat. November 18th episode of Raw, Braun Breaker defended the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus. During the match, Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser, who had been embroiled in a rivalry with Sheamus over the past few months, attacked Breaker, causing a disqualification win for Breaker to retain the title. And the week after, Breaker faced Kaiser in a non-title match, which ended in a disqualification win for Kaiser after Sheamus attacked him. A brawl ensued between all three men. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce then scheduled Breakker to defend the title against both guys in a triple threat match at Survivor Series WarGames. So where are we at in terms of this for Breakker's actual current reign and how long he's held the belt? Well, I know he's had to at least have, yeah, this is his second reign. He defeated Jey Uso on the October 21st episode of Raw in good old Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And so right now, okay, we have to scroll to fight all of this. So yeah, his first reign was only 51 days. He's currently 40 plus days on this reign. That puts him 55th overall. He's only a week away from shattering Ricochet's record, so take that for whatever the heck you will, I guess. But ultimately, I mean, this is a tough one. Well, we know Kaiser's probably going to take the pin, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, do you give it to Sheamus now? Or do you just keep it going until Mania or whenever? I don't know, really. It's kind of a tough call.
I give it to John Cena.
Hey, first of all, he's not wrestling here. Secondly, wait your turn. Hey, you know what? It's probably going to be a hog fight because, I mean, Breakker and Sheamus, and poor Kaiser's going to get caught in the crossfire, so yeah, he'll probably put up some effort, though, but ultimately it's really down to Breakker and Sheamus. Now you can go, Dean.
I got Breakker.
And Jesse also says Breakker, who's going to pin Kaiser, and I see it that exact way as well. I'm going with Braun Breakker, and he'll probably pin Ludwig Kaiser, which takes us into the last match. LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. Championship. Yeah. After LA
No, it's yeah.
Stop it. After LA Knight's successful defense of the U.S. Championship on the November 15th episode of SmackDown, he was brutally attacked by a returning Shinsuke Nakamura, who seems to be more beat up in this pic from what I'm looking at. Oh, hello there, Sheepster. I see you. Yeah, you said OG Bloodline with Punk here. Yeah, Walter, Rhea Crew, Sheamus, LA Knight. Yeah, I see you, Christopher. What's up there, man? Yeah, I see you in the chat. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, returning Shinsuke, who looked worse for wear, and he attacked Knight once again the following week after another successful title defense. And on the November 25th episode of Raw, Knight would defend the title against Nakamura at Survivor Series WarGames. Again, this is another stopgap match in the grand scheme of things here. Honestly, I feel like I don't know. I mean, with LA Knight in his current reign, well, it's his first reign still as U.S. champion, and he's held the belt for an astounding, let's see, 119 days. This puts him 53rd overall in the list of overall IC champs. So this could go a couple ways. I mean, oh, excuse me. Either, well, actually, no, it really is not going to, what am I saying? It's not going to go a couple ways, really. I mean, what even is there to say about Shinsuke Nakamura at this point in WWE? I mean,
No, you guys sound like Family Cosmo in the WWE.
no, I'd rather not. Dean, I'd rather not. And what the fuck was with that deep evil laugh? You scare me.
Dude.
Sometime. Oh, never mind. That's not the point. The point is, poor Shinsuke Nakamura is still stuck spinning his wheels. But I mean, shit, things ain't much better in Jacksonville. That's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, there's only one way this is going. Dean.
I got. Wait, what match are we on?
LA Knight versus
LA
Shinsuke
Knight.
Nakamura. Duh. Jesse's saying LA Knight. I'm saying LA Knight. Everybody's saying LA Knight. Yeah. And that closes that out. That's the last major pay-per-view we have for this year for WWE. Yes, I know there's NXT Deadline, but nah. that's more NXT oriented, and we're still a week away from that. I probably am not gonna really count Saturday night's main event, honestly. I'm just kind of drained with some of it. So skipping that, yeah, Deadline will be the last uh, general WWE side of things, and the last NXT covered this year. We're not done and out of the woodworks yet, though, because there's still one more pay-per-view from old TK and company. Ugh. World's End, which it may as well be the end of whatever the hell is going on in that company. But again, I'll save most of it when we get to there. But yeah, there's really not much else to add. So thanks, Dean, for being here and still driving me crazy, I guess. I don't know. So then we've got...
Driving coffee
Stop
insane.
it.
It brings me joy.
No, it doesn't.
It brings you joy,
No, it
coffee.
doesn't. Stop it.
Yeah,
No.
yes it does.
No, it fucking doesn't, and you're not going to tell me otherwise, so stop it. Alright, let's look at the schedule. Yeah, next week we'll be back for Deadline. Stop it.
Sorry, so I was snoring.
Yeah, next week we'll be back for Deadline, and then 1, 2, 3 weeks after that, we will be back for World's End. Yeah, we need to recuperate after this craziness. And then the year will kick off, a new year, and oh my god, another year passes. Well, you know what's coming. I guarantee it, so we'll get to it all when we get to it all. So till next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for watching, and...
See you guys later. It's gonna be a...
Dean, why are you crying? Or fake crying?
I am crying.
Just
Don't call me.
stop it. Goodbye, everybody. Next week.
Bye.